You can see that here with the red line. There is no emission of any kind of near-infrared light from LED bulbs. However, if you look at incandescent bulbs, you can see that in fact most of the energy that has been given off in incandescent bulbs is in the near-infrared area, and only a small portion is in the visible spectrum. This kind of looks somewhat like this distribution, which is actually the solar distribution. And of course, those incandescent bulbs are going away pretty quickly. With them are being replaced this clear glass, which allowed quite a bit of transmission of near-infrared light, close to 90%, with high solar gain low E, moderate solar gain low E, and low solar gain low E. You can see here that there are respectively lower and lower amounts of near-infrared radiation that's being allowed through. So I have to get a little excited about this, and I'll tell you why. It's because the benefits of sunlight, the more we study it, the more we realize that it's more than just vitamin D. I think it would be a mistake, as I've said before, to think that because you're taking vitamin D supplementation, you don't need to go out into the sun. We're starting to see evidence that sunlight in the near-infrared radiation spectrum can potentially stimulate melatonin production in the mitochondria on site, right where it's needed the most, to reduce reactive oxygen species. And now this paper seems to indicate that it may reduce the very mechanism that causes the spike protein to be toxic to cells, at least to monkey cells in a petri dish. I think there needs to be further research on the potential use of sunlight in long COVID. There seems to be some evidence that long COVID may be a result of prolonged spike protein interactions. And I think that it would be very easy to do a study that looks at sunlight exposure and the effects of long COVID. In fact, there's been some studies that have looked at latitude and indirect studies, but I think it is high time now to start looking at the sun as a major therapeutic source and to do a randomized controlled trial. Maybe not placebo, that might be difficult to do, but a randomized controlled trial looking at the benefits of getting outside and getting sunlight and its effects on COVID-19, but not just COVID-19, but in fact, a lot of disease. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to join us at medcram.com, especially if you want to see these videos without commercials.